Joining us here on News 5 at 4, I'm Rob Cork. Allison is off this week. First up at 4, rent-to-own government housing projects may provide a pathway to ownership for low-income tenants. But do these initiatives actually deliver on their promise? Well, back in 2001, the Pueblo Housing Authority launched a program to help 50 families become homeowners through a 15-year plan. But 2 decades later now, some participants in the program say they don't have the deed to their home yet. And they asked Chief Investigative Reporter Eric Ross for help getting some answers.
Homeownership is often considered part of the American dream, but for some people living in the Pueblo Housing Authority's Oakshire Hills neighborhood, they're still dreaming for the day they'll actually get the deed to their home after years of paying rent.
I was a single dad, and I was making like $9 an hour.
Back in 2001, Greg Lucero was a young father with 2 little girls, struggling to make ends meet while living in a small apartment. That's when he discovered the Housing Authority was launching a brand new initiative to help people just like him have a more permanent space to call home. He says the pitch sounded great.
50 families are going to be able to get in a home, a brand new home, and it's going to be a rent-to-own 15-year project. At the end of the 15 years, you'll pay $3,000 to $5,000 and the house is yours.
The 15-year program launched by the Housing Authority should have ended in 2016. Those who successfully made payments on time were then supposed to have the deed transferred over in their name, but that didn't happen.
They still had us going down there after that, signing new leases, and we're going, well, when are we getting our house? The program ended, and all we kept hearing was, it's coming, it's coming.
Other neighbors we spoke with off camera tell us the same thing, and we took their concerns straight to the Housing Authority. Stephen Trujillo is the executive director. He's brand new to the position. In fact, he was only in his 3rd week on the job when we met him.
So this program was designed that over a period of time, the homeowners would then be transferred this property. They would be able to then put it in their name.
So to confirm, there are renters in this neighborhood who technically should be homeowners today.
That is the goal of the program, is to make successful homeowners at the end of it all. And that's what we're working on right now with them.
Trujillo admits Lucero is one of several tenants who has successfully completed the 15-year lease-to-own program, yet still does not have the deed to his home. As a home buyer, I can close on a home in 2, 3, 4 weeks. Yet when it came to this housing project, some of these people claim they should have had the deeds to these homes years ago. What went wrong?
There's been a few delays just because of some transition with key individuals in positions on our end. You also have transition in other agency partners. So bringing all back up to speed with here's what the program was designed to do and what our intent was. And now that we know where we stand, how we're going to execute and complete what is before us for the homeowner.
Trujillo said part of the delays are with getting all of the paperwork in order with the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority, also known as CHFA, one of the key players in the implementation of this housing project. Meanwhile, Lucero and other neighbors tell me they've continued paying rent all these years later. These folks in the community have continued to pay rent long after they should have had the deed to their homes. Once they finally get those deeds, are they entitled to any type of refund?
You know, that is a piece that we're taking under consideration, but one of the things that's important to point out is in the time that they've continued to pay rent, we've also maintained that same level of support and that same level of service to their homeowner or to the home residents as well. So anytime there was an issue within the home, they would call in a work order, we would take care of that. During that particular time frame, they have not been responsible for any type of property taxes, of which when the home transfers to them, that is a piece of home ownership that'll come back to them as well. So there's all the other pieces that the agency has upheld over that period of time as well. We did not cease any of those types of things.
Let's talk about the overall big picture solution. Can you give us a date, a month, a week, a year for when these people who are entitled to their homes can actually have the deed in their hand?
I cannot guarantee you a date, only because I don't control the calendars of others that we're having to work with. And so, but all I will say, understand the importance of what we're working on, and we are working to close it as soon as we can.
Lucero says he's one of about a half dozen tenants still waiting on the deed to their home. The Housing Authority doesn't dispute this, but did not have an exact number of deed transfers it needs to complete. Trujillo reiterated they are working to get these issues resolved as soon as possible and will be following up every week on their progress. As always, we're here for you. If you have a problem or issue you'd like our News 5 Investigates team to look into, send an email anytime to news5investigates@koaa.com. Reporting in studio, Eric Ross, News 5 Investigates.
Eric, thanks. And this afternoon, a spokesperson for the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority office sent us a statement saying they're working diligently with the Pueblo Housing Authority to get Lucero and the other tenants the deeds to their home. Of course, we'll keep you posted. All right, right now.